The diesel has always had a reputation for efficiency and reliability. It owes much to the petroleum technologists who have constantly developed new and better fuels and lubricants.
Welcome to TRANSLOGIC, brought to you by Chevrolet. I'm Bradley Hasemeyer. Biodiesel. It might not be the sexiest of all the alternative energy sources out there, but it could make the biggest impact the soonest. So to learn more, we came to new Leaf Biofuel, a startup run by a new generation looking to make their mark.
It is through their work and knowledge that we have the modern diesel.
All right, so today we're here with Jennifer Case from New Leaf Biofuel. She's the CEO. Give me a little brief overview of the history of biofuel.
Well, the diesel engine was actually invented by Rudolf Diesel back in the 1800s, and he intended to run it on peanut oil. And it was not until the Rockefellers discovered that they could make a lot of money off of the dirty oil they found under the ground that things changed.
I see out front you have a nice VW Touareg, a TDI.
Yes.
So if you're putting biodiesel into your engine, does that void the warranty? Or
what the manufacturer's warrant is your engine.
Okay.
However, the manufacturer's recommendations will say that this particular engine should run on this fuel.
Blends. What's their place in all this? Blending the diesel with the biodiesel.
You might have heard people say that they run their car on B20. What that means is a 20% blend of biodiesel and diesel. By using B20, you have a couple of things. Biodiesel is a solvent. It will actually clean up those diesel deposits. So it's much better for your engine because it's going to run it cleaner. What
about the emissions? Is there any kind of difference there?
When you use biodiesel in place of petroleum diesel, you're going to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions by up to 80%. You have no sulfur, you have reduced hydrocarbons, reduced particulate matter. So across the board, the tailpipe emissions, you're going to see a significant increase in air quality.
What about the idea of conversion? Can I take my car and convert it into diesel or biodiesel for that matter?
You'll commonly hear somebody say, like, my cousin converted his car.
Yeah.
What they're talking about is using straight vegetable oil, or SVO.
Pure vegetable oil.
For a vegetable oil running engine would be a aftermarket treatment that would heat up the oil before it goes into the engine. It would use diesel to start the engine, and then after that the vegetable oil would go in and it would run. It's not a legal fuel. It's not recommended by anybody because it's not really good for your engine.
All right, so we're here with Dave. Dave is the guy who pretty much makes this stuff. Dave, thanks for being with us.
Oh, thanks for being here.
How did you get into this?
I'm a mechanical engineer.
It's in your blood,
it's in my blood. I'm a wrench turner. I'm greasy and underneath the hood. I originally came across this when I was working in Northern California for a refrigeration company. A small biodiesel company approached us with a project that they needed help on, and just became fascinated with the process of how you can make biodiesel and how you can run your car off of a derivative of vegetable oil.
So take me through the process.
Basically, we've got to get the feedstock, which is the vegetable oil, and we use used cooking oil. So we go around to San Diego restaurants and we collect the stuff. We bring it back here, and we have to put it through a rigorous cleaning process. Extensive screening, settling, filtering, centrifuging, and dewatering, because you name it's in there. There's a thing called FFAs, or free fatty acids, which are harmful to the chemical reaction. So what we have to do is an acid reaction first, where we use methanol and sulfuric acid to react the free fatty acids, turn those into biodiesel, because otherwise they would turn into soap. And then we do what the standard transesterification reaction is for making biodiesel.
Sure, a transvestification reaction.
That's basically using a caustic instead of an acid for the reaction as the catalyst. What we're doing is we're in effect stripping off glycerin from those biodiesel chains. Then we send it to our waterless washing process.
How do you wash something without water? You just use another chemical, another liquid?
In a sense, yeah. You use other chemicals and filtration and such that pull all the impurities out to then leave you with pure biodiesel.
Biodiesel is one of our nation's most promising alternative fuel sources. And by developing biodiesel, you're making this country less dependent on foreign sources of oil.
So you mentioned that you guys got a grant from the government, and that's interesting because the Department of Defense is the #1 user of biodiesel in the world. But it does seem like now they're making the ability to get into biodiesel and to use biodiesel a lot more difficult.
Initially, in 2005, the Energy Policy Act created a biodiesel tax incentive. It created a huge market over the last 5 years. And unfortunately, at the end of 2009, it was allowed to lapse. It has devastated our industry.
Really?
Absolutely. 80% of the plants in the United States right now are idled because of this lack of a tax credit. Biodiesel can reduce greenhouse gases now, rather than waiting for that magic silver bullet that's going to solve all of our problems.
Yeah.
What can we do from a bunch of different little areas?
Yeah.
And biodiesel, the way that New Leaf is doing it, you take a high density population, you collect the used cooking oil, you recycle it in the city, and you give it back to the city. There's really no reason why someone shouldn't do that.
Well, there you go, all you've ever wanted to know about biodiesel. It might not be the final answer in alternative energy sources, but it sure is a huge piece of the puzzle. Maybe if the government stepped up and did their part, things would change. I know I'm doing mine.